We're explaining how to fix the cannot read properties of undefined reading map error in React. This frustrating error usually pops up when you try to use the plot map method on an array that's currently undefined or null. Think of it like trying to read a book that doesn't exist. Your program doesn't know what to do. Here's how to solve it. 1. Check if your data is loaded. The most common cause is that the array you're mapping hasn't finished loading yet. If you're fetching data from an API or using a state variable, ensure the data has arrived before attempting to map it. You can often check for null or undefined values directly. For example, if your data is stored in this.state.myArray, check if this.state.myArray is actually defined before using .map. 2. Conditional rendering. Use a conditional statement like an if statement to only render the component that uses .map if the array is defined. This prevents the error from occurring in the first place. For example, if this state myArray, return all this state myArray map, else return floating, pied. This way you gracefully handle the case where the data is still loading or unavailable. 3. Optional chaining and nullish coalescing. These are powerful tools in modern JavaScript. Optional chaining lets you safely access nested properties without causing errors if an intermediate property is undefined. For example, instead of this.state.user.address.street, you would use this.state.user.address street. The nullish coalescing operator provides a default value if a variable is null or undefined. So, instead of this.state.myArray.map, you might use by this.state.myArray map. This ensures that map is always called on an array, an empty array if this state myArray is null or undefined, preventing the error. 4. Debugging techniques. Use your browser's developer tools, usually accessed by pressing F12, to inspect your component's state and props. Carefully trace the value of your array at different points in your code to identify when and why it becomes undefined. Setting breakpoints in your code can help you step through the execution and understand the flow of data. 5. Asynchronous operations. Promises, async, await. If your data is fetched asynchronously, e.g. that using fetch or Axios, ensure that your .map.js operation occurs after the data has been successfully retrieved. Use then with promises or async, await to handle the asynchronous nature of the data fetching. Remember to handle potential errors during the fetching process. Carefully check your data source and ensure you're accessing the correct array or object. By addressing these points, you can effectively troubleshoot and eliminate the cannot read properties of undefined reading map error, leading to more robust and reliable React applications.